بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. In Surah An-Nahl, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains many of His bounties. And these are bounties that are tangible, concrete. People are benefiting from them throughout most of their lives. And sometimes these bounties are taken for granted. So the first ni'mah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that He created the human being from very humble origins. خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِن نُطْفَةٍ. He created him from a drop of fluid. But what does the human being do? فَإِذَا هُوَ خَصِيمٌ مُبِينٌ. He stands up and challenges Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He openly argues against the decree of Allah, against the judgments of Allah, against the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he is always in the business of trying to prove himself right, or his line of thinking right, or his actions to be correct, irrespective of the moral code that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, look at the other things I've created for you, how subservient they are. They're constantly serving you and you are benefiting from them. So, وَالْأَنْعَامَ خَلَقَهَا. For example, cattle, livestock. لَكُمْ فِيهَا دِفْءٌ وَمَنَافِعُ وَمِنْهَا تَأْكُلُونَ. You gain warmth from them. Clothing is made from their leather, from their furs, and especially in the old days, and still in many parts of the world, these skins of animals are used as part of the shelter. So for people who are nomadic, people who live in deserts and those areas, the skins of animals were and still are an invaluable resource, just because of the type of warmth and shelter and insulation that they give, not just as clothing, but also as coverings. And many other benefits. People trade, and they have historically traded, and they have used the parts of these animals for so many things, and even today they are being used. How many products are made from various derivatives of animals? It's hard to count. And وَمِنْهَا تَأْكُلُونَ, of course, you consume them as well. And وَلَكُمْ فِيهَا جَمَالٌ, and they are a source of adornment, a source of beauty. حِينَ تُرِيحُونَ وَحِينَ تَسْرَحُونَ. When farmers and ranchers, they go out and they collect their animals in the evening, and they have lines and lines of these animals, or when they take them out to pasture, when the shepherds take them out, and it looks so beautiful, all of these animals. You probably have experienced this, that when you're driving on a road and you see animals, whether it's horses or it's cows, how beautiful it looks. They're just there so peacefully grazing. People stop and they watch, especially children. They're so amazed. And even adults, they say, oh, look at those animals. There is an attraction in it. وَلَكُمْ فِيهَا جَمَالٌ حِينَ تُرِيحُونَ وَحِينَ تَسْرَحُونَ وَتَحْمِلُ أَثْقَالَكُمْ إِلَى بَلَدٍ لَمْ تَكُونُوا بَالِغِيهِ إِلَّا بِشِقِّ الْأَنفُسِ. These animals also carry loads for you, especially traditionally, when these animals were the main source of transporting human beings and transporting goods to far regions and to areas that you could not have conveyed those goods to unless you endured a great deal of difficulty. And even today, in the mountainous areas, the animals are the main source of transporting goods. There's no other practical means of getting things up to the villages, high in the mountains, up in the forests. These are bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And وَعَلَى اللَّهِ قَصْدُ السَّبِيلِ وَمِنْهَا جَائِرٌ. Of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made them as a means of transport for you as well. And Allah Azza wa Jal is the one who enables you to navigate to the right destination. And sometimes there are paths that mislead you. And وَلَوْ شَاءَ لَهَدَاكُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. This is also from the wisdoms of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Otherwise, if He wanted, no one in this world would ever lose their direction and would ever get lost. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the systems of water and rain. هُوَ الَّذِي أَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً لَكُمْ مِنْهُ شَرَابٌ وَمِنْهُ شَجَرٌ فِيهِ تُسِيمُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends down the rain, and the rain becomes a source of nourishing the earth and all the vegetation and the plants and the fruits. And then because of this, we are able to harvest fruits from which we create drinks. And because of this, we are able to gain fresh water from its sources. And because of this, we are able to grow things. We are able to grow, and we're able to plant, and we're able to farm. ينبت لكم به الزرع والزيتون والنخيل والأعناب ومن كل الثمرات. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grows all kinds of fruits, and whether it's dates, whether it's grapes, whether it's other kinds of vegetations and fruits, just go and drive by an orchard sometime, whether it's an apple orchard or it's a mango orchard or it's whatever is in the areas that you live in. Go and look at all of these vineries where they grow grapes. How beautiful it is. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made all of this as a sign. In each one of these things are signs. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَةً لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. For people who contemplate and reflect, definitely there is a sign. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is emphasizing, إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَةً. There is no doubt that in this is a sign, but for those people whose faculties of contemplation have become active, have been activated, and they're thinking and they're reflecting. Why? How? How did all of this happen? And why did it happen? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues. وَسَخَّرَ لَكُمُ اللَّيْلَ وَالنَّهَارَ وَالشَّمْسَ وَالْقَمَرَ. The night, the day, the sun, the moon, the stars, وَالنُّجُومُ مُسَخَّرَاتٌ بِأَمْرِ. All of these have been put to serve you. They're serving us directly, and when they nurture life on earth, they are serving us indirectly. So all of these things are a source of life for us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, in this also are many signs. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَعْقِلُونَ. For people who use their intelligence. Now, this intelligence is not related to studying and researching things. This is, you can say, a higher intelligence that everyone has. Everyone has this. It's the ability to see something and see purpose behind it. To see something, to look at something and see power behind it. To see beauty in it. To see greatness in it. To see perfection in it. And to be able to admire it for what it is. Just like when Bedouin was asked that, do you believe that there's a sani', that there's a creator of all of this? He said, look, البعرة تدل على البعير وأثر الأقدام على المسير. When I walk through the desert and I see camel droppings, it tells me that it was a camel that passed by and left them here. And when I see footprints in the sand, it tells me that a person came by here and left those prints. They didn't just show up by themselves. Just like those droppings didn't show up by themselves. So he said, فَالسَّمَاوَاتُ ذَاتُ بُرُوجٍ وَالْأَرْضُ ذَاتُ فِجَاجٍ كَيْفَ لَا تَدُلَّانِ عَلَى الصَّانِعِ اللَّطِيفِ الْخَبِيرِ. He said, this massive sky with all its constellations, all its creations and wonders, and this earth with its vast valleys, don't you think it's telling us that someone put it here? It didn't just show up on its own. So this is that thinking where a person sees the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and says, رَبَّنَا مَا خَلَقْتَ هَذَا بَاطِلًا سُبْحَانَكَ. Oh Allah, you have not created all this in vain. You are free from such an idle thing to create all of this just for the sake of creating it. No. Definitely you have created this for us to use, to enjoy, and you will take account from us as to how we used it. That's the dua that comes after. فَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. So save us from the punishment of Jahannam. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala recounts His bounties. وَمَا ذَرَأَ لَكُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ مُخْتَلِفًا أَلْوَانُهُ. And look at all the different vegetations Allah grows, plants, flowers, trees, all different colors and tints. You go outside when it's autumn, and how beautiful things look when the leaves are turning red and they're turning orange and yellow. And when you look at spring, spring has its own beauty. You go through fields, fields have their own beauty. The forests have their own beauty. The mountains have their own beauty. The oceans have their own beauty. All of this color, this world which is so colorful and so spectacular, Allah says, in this are also signs. لَآيَةً لِقَوْمٍ يَذَّكَّرُونَ, for people who are seeking to understand. And He goes on, وَهُوَ الَّذِي سَخَّرَ لَكُمُ الْبَحْرَ, look at the oceans. Allah says, I have put these oceans at your service. Why? لِتَأْكُلُوا مِنْهُ لَحْمًا طَرِيًّا, so that you can get fresh meat from it, the meat of the fish. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls it لَحْمًا طَرِيًّا. It is filled with vitality. It is filled with life. It is filled with freshness for you. وَتَسْتَخْرِجُوا مِنْهُ حِلْيَةً تَلْبَسُونَهَا, and you extract all kinds of gems from the waters. You extract pearls from the waters. And this water also becomes a means of transport. وَتَرَى الْفُلْكَ مَوَاخِرَ فِيهِ, you see ships. You see ships splitting the surface of the water, which is exactly what it looks like when a ship is moving across the water, how the water seems to part for it. And it's slicing through. مَوَاخِرَ فِيهِ وَلِتَبْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِهِ وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. All of this is, you go and you seek the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no restriction on this type of thing. Go and use the earth's resources for your needs, for your desires even. Go ahead. But لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ, but be grateful to the Allah who has given you all of this. وَأَلْقَى فِي الْأَرْضِ رَوَاسِيَ أَن تَمِيدَ بِكُمْ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has planted mountains on this earth so that the earth does not shake. وَأَنْهَارًا, and He has placed rivers and streams. وَسُبُلًا لَعَلَّكُمْ تَهْتَدُونَ, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made pathways in this earth. وَعَلَامَاتٍ, and He has put milestones, He has put landmarks everywhere. وَبِالنَّجْمِ هُمْ يَهْتَدُونَ, through those landmarks and through the stars you're able to navigate. أَفَمَنْ يَخْلُقُ كَمَنْ لَا يَخْلُقُ أَفَلَا تَذَكَّرُونَ. One who creates, who brings things into existence from nothingness, can He be compared to those things that cannot create anything? وَالَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ لَا يَخْلُقُونَ شَيْئًا وَهُمْ يُخْلَقُونَ أَمْوَاتٌ غَيْرُ أَحْيَاءٍ. All of these things that people call on other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they cannot create anything. Rather, they themselves are created by the hands of men. They are created things, or they have been created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the service of man. But people have taken them as deities, as idols, as gods. So look how beautifully the Quran directs us to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by just reminding us of the bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we look at the bounties with this lens, we will feel and sense a nearness and closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We will be the first ones to feel it. But Allah wants people who are قَوْمِ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ قَوْمِ يَعْقِلُونَ قَوْمِ يَذَّكَّرُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to become people who contemplate and reflect, people who seek to understand the wisdoms and the beauties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's creation, and people who use their intelligence that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put inside every single human being. These are some reflections from this surah. If you were to go through the rest of the surah, you would find many other bounties that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned. And it is truly an eye-opener because, as I mentioned in the beginning, we see these and we benefit from them all the time throughout our lives. If even then, these simple things and these basic things, these things that are constant in our lives, if they don't remind us of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we need to search deep inside and see what is it that is stopping us. What is it that has covered our hearts so that we're not able to use these things as a means of getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah Azza wa Jal open up our hearts and our minds for His message, for His words, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this month of Ramadan a means of us truly gaining nearness to Him through His divine revelation. Allahumma anta salam wa minka salam. تباركت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام اللهم لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك اللهم لك الحمد كالذي تقوله خيرا مما نقول اللهم لك الحمد لا نحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك اللهم ندعوك الله وندعوك الرحمن وندعوك البر الرحيم وندعوك بأسمائك الحسنى كلها ما علمنا منها وما لم نعلم اللهم لك الحمد كما أنت أهله فصل على محمد كما أنت أهله وافعل بنا ما أنت أهله ولا تفعل بنا ما نحن أهله إنك أهل التقوى وأهل المغفرة اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين اللهم اغفر لنا ولوالدينا ولجميع المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات ربنا اغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم اللهم طهر قلوبنا من النفاق وأعمالنا من الرياء وألسنتنا من الكذب وأعيننا من الخيانة فإنك تعلم خائنة الأعين وما تخفي الصدور اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا ورزقا حلالا طيبا واسعا وشفاء عاجلا كاملا من كل داء وعملا متقبلا اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما وزدنا علما وزدنا علما اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك اللهم آنس وحشتنا في قبورنا اللهم ارحمنا بالقرآن العظيم واجعله لنا إماما ونورا وهدى ورحمة اللهم ذكرنا منه ما نسينا وعلمنا منه ما جهلنا وارزقنا تلاوته آناء الليل وآناء النهار واجعله لنا حجة يا رب العالمين اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم انصر من نصر دين محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم واجعلنا منهم اللهم أعز الإسلام وأنصاره اللهم أعز الإسلام وأنصاره وأذل الشرك وأشراره اللهم اجعلنا من الذين اللهم اجعلنا من الذين استمعوا إلى القول فيتبعون أحسنه اللهم اجعلنا من المفلحين اللهم اجعلنا من عبادك الصالحين اللهم اجعلنا من عبادك المخلصين اللهم اجعلنا من الذين لا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون اللهم اجعلنا من أوليائك المقربين اللهم اجعلنا من الفائزين اللهم وفقنا لما تحبه وترضى وخذ بنواصينا إلى الحق والهدى واجعل آخرتنا خيرا من الأولى اللهم ول علينا خيارنا ولا تول علينا بذنوبنا شرارنا اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من عذاب الدنيا وعذاب الآخرة اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من عذاب الدنيا وعذاب الآخرة اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من خزي الدنيا وخزي الآخرة اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من النفاق والشقاق وسوء الأخلاق اللهم ارفع مقتك وغضبك عنا اللهم ارفع مقتك وغضبك عنا اللهم ارفع عنا البلاء والوباء اللهم ارفع عنا البلاء والوباء اللهم اشف وأنت شافي لا شفاء إلا شفاؤك شفاء لا يغادر سقما اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية في ديننا ودنيانا وأهلنا ومالنا اللهم اشف مرضانا وارحم موتانا وعاف مبتلانا اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين آمين